And the other thing, I suppose, the tips for sellers preparing your property for the market, what's the key? I mean, well-priced, we know that well-priced and well-presented homes are still selling quickly, no matter what price bracket they're in. If they're priced right in that price bracket and they're presented well, they will sell. So you guys got any tips for sellers?
I think the first time a person walks into your property, bring a client out, if they hit that front step and it wriggles, or they grab the handrail and it moves, immediately they're on the lookout for other problems, for issues. If your initial concept, if they walk in there and they go, wow, this feels good, it's firm, it doesn't creak, it doesn't rattle, and it's been well kept. But if you have little bits and pieces that are just niggly little things, basically what you should do is go out on the footpath, take a few deep breaths, and walk into your own home as if you're a buyer, and look for the issues.
Yeah, good tip.
Yeah. I think the less that a buyer has to complain about, the better for sellers. Yeah, small things add up over time for a buyer. They're there for only 45 minutes, and if there's 100 things that they've taken away that just need little bits and pieces here and there, it'll all add up to a big one.
So for a $500 fix for a seller to fix something before going to the market, it could save $5,000, $10,000 in a negotiation later, because people will want to negotiate off their price after they've agreed on a price once they get their building and pest. So.
And there's things that you live with, and I'm the same. There's things you live with that you see every day that become commonplace for you in your own home, but when you see it on a film, like when it's been marketed, a black driveway, a driveway that, you know, a day with the pressure washer could have picked up. Little things like that. But because you cross that driveway every day, you never think to do it.
It's worth too for sellers, and I've said this on a number of occasions, that for sellers, consider doing a building and pest report on your own home before you go to market. They call it a vendor's report. And the benefit of doing that, it might cost you about $500, but it'll give peace of mind. When we go into a negotiation and sell your home, we agree to a price, the buyers will do their building and pest, and then weeks later, you've had your house off the market with that buyer while they deliberate, get their building and pest, then they want to come and knock money off your price because we've discovered things about your house that you didn't know before. Yeah. If you know those things up front and can rectify that before going to the market, it can save literally tens of thousands of dollars later. So it's a good idea. And the other beauty of that is we can share that then. If the vendor obtains a building and pest report on their home, we can actually share that to buyers, and it saves a lot of time if the buyers can make a decision in the moment. So, and time is of the essence when negotiating a sale, and if they can say, look, I'm happy with that building and pest you provided, I can go to contract much sooner. And you're not taking your house off the market for 3 weeks waiting for that inspection to happen. So for sellers, that'd be my tip, is to think seriously about doing a full building and pest report before you go to market. It takes out a lot of the surprises later that can be very costly.
That's right, yeah, absolutely.
Get advice on that though too, because some small problems aren't really as big as what they may seem on paper as well.
And it's true, and mentioning that too, that from a buyer perspective, when you do get your building and pest report, we know that those reports are very structured. They're geared with all sorts of indemnities and disclaimers in them, and recommendations and it's basically there to cover the building pest guy. They don't want people coming back later, and I say that without any disrespect to the building pest, but their insurance advisors have advised them how to structure those reports. It's really, really good to speak face to face with that inspector. So once you do your building pest, have a chat to them on the phone or face to face with them afterwards. They will talk you through the report. Because when you read those reports, you wouldn't buy anything. And in a town like Maryborough with houses which are, a lot of them are 100-year-old, you read that report, you wouldn't go near the place. But even the building pest fellow will tell you, look, it's fine, it's good. What you want to know is it in a good condition for its age and wear? Because it's not going to meet the current building code.
No, that's right.
And if you read a building and pest report, you're going to get scared off. So it's really good to have those conversations with your building pest guy before, during or after the inspection, because the hard written report can be pretty scary. Yeah.
No, that's right.
I think I heard it from you, Steve. A building and pest report's a good list for what to do when you move in.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I'll go through and I'll fix these little issues. And as you said, some of them may seem like major issues on paper when it's in black and white. But if you have that discussion with whoever does the report, they'll say, oh, it's easily fixed. You just do this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
The stairs may not be up to code, but it's a couple $1,000 or a couple $100 just to fix that to make it safe for today. So.
Yeah. So there's a lot of peace of mind getting those building pests moving forward. At least you know So yeah, but the other thing is too, there's no pass or fail. This is what people say, oh, it failed a building and pest. Well, there's no such thing as a pass or a fail with a building pest report. It's a very subjective thing, and a buyer can determine.
It's up to the buyer whether they decide
whether
to
they're
accept it, if they're satisfied with it. If they're not, obviously if they're buying an old home, it's going to have a list this long, of little bits and pieces, because it's not a new home.
Some of them are as old as all of us combined.
That's right. Absolutely, yeah. And even on newer homes, they find things on newer homes. But the key things there, like moisture is one thing to look out for. If there's water that's not being piped away from your air conditioning, for instance, or your hot water system overflow, a simple leak or a bit of moisture near the house like that, they will bang on for a dozen pages more about termites and the risk of termites, whether they find termites or not, because there is an element of risk. Or a little bit of PVC pipe to take that water away.
Take that water further
is all
away.
it needs. And that little PVC pipe can save big discussions later, a lot of fear, particularly interstate buyers. I find interstate buyers coming here, if they're buying a timber home in Queensland, they're paranoid about termites. Termites are not unique to Queensland.
No, that's right.
But the fear factor is that. So all those little things that sellers can do before they go to market, just to cover all bases, I think is a good idea.
And where are you seeing a lot of your buyers come from now, Sue, Steve? From interstate?
Look, they're interstate, but I'd say 50-50 local people. And there's people that are moving back here from the Bay, selling their properties at the Bay and moving back to Maryborough. And generally they're achieving slightly higher prices at the Bay, so it allows them to put 50,000 or 100,000 in a bank account. I mean, it's something that I've even contemplated as downsizing, just to pump the bank account up, because at the moment, as I said, the market's nice and strong, and yeah, and I wouldn't mind travelling.
Yeah, and plenty of people are doing that.
Yeah.
Plenty of people are travelling. But yeah, another tip, if you are going to go and travel for a while, hang on to your house. Some people have fallen into that trap too.
Yes.
Or have an investment, because people have gone travelling 6-12 months around Australia, they've come back trying to buy back into the same market, and they've left themselves out of the market too long. It has grown, and their funds just don't cover it. So.
And it is going to keep growing.
Yes.
It is going to keep growing. I believe that if you were to sell now and not get a foot back in there, you would be left behind. Because we might be getting somewhere near the top of the market, but it's not going to fall away. So, yeah.
I think that's the key.